Thank you very much, and a good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jakub Świerzawski. I'd like to thank the organizers of the conference for this opportunity. I would like to talk to you about the dome of academic library. When you think about an academic library, usually such an image pops into our head. It's an area full of readers, full of books, very spacious and interesting. There's usually an interesting vault. This is a space in Dublin. Back in the 18th century, it looked like this. But then expanding it and enlarging the space, adding this vault there, all this turned it into an iconic place that inspired the set design for Star Wars, for instance. The first dome for a library was in fact designed by Sir Christopher Wren in 1675 in Oxford. He had an idea to let in the light into a reading room through skylights and lanterns. And the people sitting down there in the reading room were surrounded by book spines. These could be accessed by librarians from those hidden galleries, so you had to order a book to get it. This design wasn't implemented in the end, but it inspired other architects, those who designed the the Radcliffe Camera, funded by John Radcliffe. That's a library in Oxford. It's a neoclassical building, and we can see the reading room on the first floor here. The whole building is quite tall, and there's a truss structure of the dome. Another interior, quite a famous one when it comes to domed libraries, is one that doesn't have a lot of space for storing books. Here the main aim was to create a monumental space. This is quite a famous place, and it's one of the libraries that are part of the Bodleian Library. Among the centuries, a classical language evolved, the classical language that described domed libraries. They all had a common language, architectural language. Today, we no longer build such libraries, and this is my question to you. Why do you think libraries today no longer look like libraries of the past? The biggest changes in the history of the design of academic libraries begin in the past centuries. In the past century, new technologies, advancement, progress at universities, this all leads to the decreasing number of readers in a reading room. So architects started to look for solutions to turn this trend around. So they looked for a technique that would allow technology and architecture to coexist in a library. And I'd like to talk to you about three examples. The first one is the University of Zurich Law Library, designed by Santiago Calatrava. It was an expansion of an existing building. Two additional floors were added. These floors include book warehouses, book storage spaces, studios, and other rooms. And on the lower level, there's the reading room. And the reading room has a very interesting structure. It's a steel structure that is suspended, and it's covered with a dome, a glass steel dome spanning over 30 meters. It consists with arcs. They are reinforced by ribs, and we have a glazing there. Of course, there are special blinds that allow us to regulate the climate inside. Workstations are quite quiet and calm, and they are located around the atrium.
Biblioteka, cała czytelnia ma 6 kondygnacji.
The library has 6 floors. It has an atmosphere of silence, concentration. It is a very silent place. In the corners there, you can see glass panes that are, elevator shafts that are also part of the whole structure. From the very center, you cannot see the readers or the reading rooms. You can only see this part of the library, the balconies. And as Calatrava mentioned, he wanted to create a levitating furniture. Books are material and heavy, while knowledge is immaterial, to some extent weightless. This is what I wanted to highlight, Calatrava wrote. Another example is the library of Joe and Rika Mansueta in Chicago. It was designed by Helmut Jahn, and he actually designed a large book storage space. It's hidden underneath the ground, and it's covered with a glass dome. It's also an extension of an existing library, and you can enter the domed area through the existing library and through a so-called bridge. The dome measures 35.5 meters in width, 73 meters in length, and 10.6 meters in height. The old library from the 1970s. The old part is a brutalist building. It houses quite a large book collection. And when you walk around this part, you can see through the windows there, you can see the domed part, the new library, and through this bridge I mentioned, you can enter the domed part. The space there is rather calm. The buzzing of the air conditioning system might be a little bit irritating, I have to admit, but all fittings and fixtures, the furniture, lighting system, it was all integrated with the tables, the furnitures and chairs there, and we can barely see the books there. There are no books actually, you have to order them. It has a futuristic look. It was featured in some of films, some series like The Dark Matter, and the structure itself is designed in such a way to enable the glass panes to be flat, and they rest on a 60 centimeter by 60 centimeter structure. There's a distance between this structure and the support structure. The support structure is formed by tubes. And the thickness of the walls there depends on the exact spot, the exact space they're located in. These elements were produced, manufactured in Germany, and then installed in situ in the US with bolts. And a few words about the underground book storage space. It takes up around 1/7 of the space that would be needed for a conventional storage space. It consists of a system of boxes, and in those boxes you have books, and then a whole system, an automated system, selects the books that you want and delivers them to you within several minutes. The last library I wanted to talk to you about is the Stelios-Iono Learning Resource Center Library in Nicosia. It was inspired by the landscape of the plateau in Cyprus. There's a wide dome, and you can see the structure here inside. There's the reading room. You also have the foyer and 3 separate wings. And here in the cross section you can see that when you see the building like this, it seems like it's made of plastic. And yes, the facade is made of plastic. This is a PVC membrane. It is stretched over a steel structure and serves as a sunshade, provided a shaded path to the building.
ale producent twierdzi, że 20 do 30 lat ta
Producer
siatka
says that the membrane's lifespan is estimated to be between 21 and 30 years, and this is covered. At the top there is a dome.
Pod nią mieści się open space.
It was quite costly, and underneath the dome you have the whole open space of the library.
Kopułę wyposażono w miejsce
And
czy w urządzenia
The
techniczne, które
dome
kierują
was
światłem
equipped with
naturalnym.
technology that operates the light, lets in natural light, and there's a whole system of blinds, rotating blinds there.
Pomalowane na
And
biało. Podstawa to jest 5 metrów.
there's a heliostat that reflects, directs natural light to the lower level.
Architekci twierdzą, że
The heliostat is a 24-meter high white cone with a 5-meter base radius, ensuring natural light reaches all reading area. Around the heliostat, we have reading rooms,
Po obwodzie ułożono książki
and the books
i tutaj za tymi
are
regałami,
there.
które
They
widzimy,
surround
są kolejne
the
regały z książkami.
workstations.
To
You
jest
can
księgozbiór,
see
który sięga około 700
a book
tysięcy
collection,
wolumin.
and the
Miejsce
book
do
collection
pracy
is
głośnej
quite
zlokalizowane są w
large.
foyer,
It
a dostęp
consists
do nich jest
of
z
around
czytelni. Są to takie
700,000 volumes.
czerwone, szklane boksy.
You can also see those
Pomieszczenia,
red
stoliki, krzesła,
glass
których można
boxes. The walls are made of red tempered glass,
Wracając do
and you
pytania, czy
can discuss
biblioteki nie
important
wyglądają już
issues
jak
there.
biblioteki?
Now, going back to my questions, do libraries still look like libraries today?
Są projektowane, żeby je podziwiać.
Historically
A te, które
speaking,
są,
but also focusing on the nowadays, not all
to w nich
libraries are built
treść,
to be
czytelnik,
admired.
książka,
When they are
umeblowanie,
built to be admired, then
kopuła, czy
the
sklepienie, cała
reader, the
architektura tworzą
dome,
wyjątkową
the book,
atmosferę
all
tego
the
miejsca.
elements create this
Dodatkowo kopuła,
unusual,
która ma
unique atmosphere of the place.
monumentalne cechy,
In addition to that,
podkreśla rangę
this
i
monumental
istotę biblioteki,
dome
czy danej biblioteki, danego
stresses
instytutu.
even further the
Jest też
rank
miejsce spotkania
of an
się
institution
całej,
of this particular
społeczności
place.
akademickiej.
It's a meeting place of the
Jednak
entire
ostatnie 30
academic
lat,
community, but in the past
Zmiany
30
technologiczne
years,
istotnie wpłynęły
technological
na
advancement
bibliotek akademickich.
did shape the
Dzisiaj już nie
structure
zaskakuje,
of
że
academic
bibliotece
libraries,
akademickiej
and
znajdziemy
it is no longer a surprise that in an academic library you can now find places that were normally would be located elsewhere on the campus. Dance studio, coffee shop, a restaurant, a relaxation place.
I w takim układzie kopuła, która
And in this whole scenario, the dome that is
staje się też złożonym
a manifestation of an architectural idea also is part of a technical equipment of the building. It influences its usability.
na wygląd,
And
który prezentowany jest
The
czytelnikowi,
technological
a tym samym na
excellence
marką
influences the appearance, and
Więc biblioteki
it shapes
XX
the
wieku,
whole brand
XX
of the university.
wieku, jeżeli w ogóle
The
posiadają
libraries
książki,
of the
bo
21st
powstają
century,
normalnie
if they have
biblioteki
books
bez
at all,
książek,
because we also
stają
have
się pewnego
bookless
rodzaju
libraries,
muzeum, jeżeli mogę nawiązać do
they
poprzedniego
are becoming
wypowiedzi, stają się pewnego rodzaju
type
muzeum,
of
w którym
museum.
książki
Let me
są
refer back to the
przechowywane,
presentation before mine.
utrzymywane,
They are
prezentowane
now
i używane.
like a museum where books are stored, used, and admired. I would like to show you one other dome, and this is not an element of an academic library, but it shows you this unity, cohesion of architecture in this regard. This is a design by Jean Nouvel, a dome spanning across 170 meters and consists of various layers that allow the light to fall inside. It protects from direct sunlight. It's in Abu Dhabi, so this is very much needed. All of the domes that I wanted to show to you today are aesthetically and functionally related to the sun. Their function is to maintain and regulate temperature. They filter light, direct light when needed, and they also form the unique character of a place or an institution. Thank you for your attention.